As a second grader, James R. Maris saw a Zeppelin fly over his school's playground, and the deep love of aviation was started. Born September 13, 1919, in Lafayette, Colorado, Maris spent his boyhood in Bloomingdale, Indiana, and Champaign, Illinois, constructing model airplanes without kits. Bamboo strips from Japanese calendars framed his flying models. It was a Ford trimotor from the Champaign County Airport that high schooler Jim experienced his first flight. His first night flight in a Stinson Reliant is particularly special. His girlfriend, Lucille Carr, flew with him, and yes, he married her in 1943 near the airbase in Montgomery, Alabama. 4 daughters completed the family: Kathy, Nancy, Susan, and Vicki. Like all Americans stunned by the radio announcement of the attack on Pearl Harbor, Jim enlisted in the military in 1942. Trained in B-17s and B-24s, soon his award-winning crew flew a new B-24 bomber to England, but their route took an unproven South Atlantic crossing with no refueling at Ascension. Successfully landing on the metal mat runway at Dakar, they found out they were the first to reach the destination unrefueled. The crew before had perished trying this test a couple of hundred miles out. Jim's second of 30 missions in a B-24 was D-Day. Flying out of Wendling, England, they were the first group of bombers to cross the coast. They flew and fought through enormous odds, and in their 23rd mission, he piloted their B-24 back with an engine missing and a hole through the wing large enough to drop a man through. His close friend and navigator, Herb Sills, upon returning stateside, wrote in a letter to Jim's wife in 1944, "Lucille, if Jimmy needed to take our ship apart and put her back together again in the air to get us back home, he could do it." After the 30th mission, and no crew members lost, Maris volunteered to stay in England and fly tow target aircraft, Douglas A-20s, and a P-47D from a base in Sutton Bridge. A decorated pilot, Maris returned to the United States, serving as a military test pilot in Smyrna, Tennessee. Then, with his University of Illinois bachelor's degree in education, he worked for Illinois' Curry School of Aeronautics. Maris, a lieutenant colonel, had 23 years' service in the Air Corps and the Air Force. In 1955, Purdue University called him to head the just-started 2-year aviation maintenance technology program. The next year, Maris started a new professional pilot technology program. For the next 25 years, Maris headed this training. John Norbert, author of On the Wings of Their Dreams, wrote of Maris's Purdue program, building it into a 4-year Bachelor of Science degree program, considered among the top in the nation. Maris led the team responsible for bringing in the first of several flight simulators for the world-class program. Maris maintained his pilot's license. He was a member of the Experimental Aircraft Association. He built a Starduster II open-cockpit biplane and a Quickie Q2. Flying the Starduster in the evenings was his way of relieving stress. Students, including at least one of Purdue's NASA astronaut alums, would line up to fly with Jim. While keeping an up-to-date fleet of aircraft in the Purdue program, he was also integral in the restoration of historic aircraft. Locating and bringing aircraft to Purdue for restoration by students and instructor teams became part of classroom laboratory activities. You can find several of these on display at the National Museum of the United States Air Force at Wright-Patterson Air Force Base near Dayton, Ohio. As founding department head for the Aviation Technology Department at Purdue, Maris was unique in that he became a full professor while not holding a graduate degree. A university visionary, he was part of the initial conversations that led to the formation of the Purdue College of Technology, which is now known as Purdue Polytechnic. In his retirement, Maris led tours of the Purdue University Airport and volunteered for the Purdue Visitors Center. He continued throughout his senior years as a public speaker about aviation history, World War II, and home-built aircraft.